have a confession. I lied to you. I don't have my stuff laid out, but I do have some notes. So, I lied to you about this being a reversal video. I'm just going to read some things that I found that I need to read. And don't mind us. We're just reading a literature. Anyway, okay. 1/4 of coronavirus infections come from synagogues. Israel's health minister admit. The Jewish community is just 0.3% of the UK's population, yet nearly 5% of the UK's coronavirus victims are Jewish. Calls have been made to the chief rabbis to ban prayer in synagogues due to clear evidence that communal prayer helps spread coronavirus. 22 Jewish families have lost loved ones to the disease, which have killed 465 people in the UK. At least 2 rabbis have died of the disease. And one was 86 and 73. One was 73. After reading, if y'all are on my BitChute, I explain my perspective on that stuff and some of the stuff that I've learned, because you can say it's propaganda all you want. Perspective matters. And I sure as heck wasn't given the full perspective when I was younger. So, of course, if people are going to, lie to you, you're going to look for it yourself. Physical evidence, I thought, was more accepted than lies. And the thing is, historically, certain groups have been known to lie. So that's my problem with what I just read. And of course I pointed out the 86. People use titles to go against people, and they'll use people within their circle who share their titles and use them too. So remember that. I often forget, and this is one reason I'm so thankful that I was open-minded to dark things. If I wasn't exposed to certain things in a loving environment, in safety, I wouldn't recognize certain things today. And I think a lot of Christians, they don't know their enemy. They've been told that being aware of certain things means you're evil. Sometimes things are tools, just like money, right? It's a tool. Are you evil for wielding the tool? It's how you mess with stuff sometimes. Anyway, but I noticed that. I noticed a lot of people, and it doesn't matter what religion they are, really, people will make excuses, but I guess because I'm around Christians, I notice the hypocrisy, and I'm a hypocrite without realizing it from time to time. I like to be gently corrected, because I don't want to be, double standards or anything like that. But a lot of people, it's like a brick wall. They're so comfortable in what they know that even, it's like Yuri or Bezmenov, I don't know. He was a former KGB agent who supposedly is now in Canada, which I don't know. Supposedly there are too many communists, he said, here in America now. But he was explaining how society could be ideological subversion. And the same story of history, if we didn't take to it, if we didn't fall for that, just like if the natives had been united, they probably wouldn't have been defeated. Just like if the black men had been united, They wouldn't have been selling each other off. Just like if the white men had been united, they wouldn't murk for someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, against their own. So, I mean, everybody's kind of got their not so desirable people with these character traits that are just kind of traitorous. But I don't really think you need to be. It's more about heart to me. But I'm not gonna lie, I do notice the difference in the way people do things, and I do like a lot of things about European ways, if you will. Okay, intel ops, try to get your sympathy with personal sad stories, try to gain trust. They work in tandem with one another using fate clashes. They try to have essential positions so they can dominate the narrative, and in key issues, they know where their loyalty lies. Various Chinese officials expressed publicly that perhaps the U.S. military establishment, which brought a new type of coronavirus. See, I'm seeing a lot of either America's evil and China's the good guy, or China's evil and America's the good guy. I'm seeing a lot of that. This was for China, obviously. Brought the new type of virus to Wuhan in order to harm China and bring the world back through complex back roads under the West's control. I've heard COVID-19 is patented by the military, but I don't know. Capitalism, bad versus good, whatever else. And that just, they do a lot of that. I don't know a lot about other ways of life, you know. I feel like we really need to be able to talk to each other openly to really get an idea of how other ways of life are. But I feel like there really isn't a lot of that going on, even though sometimes there is, which is super cool. But maybe I just haven't looked hard enough, because I really haven't looked too much. But I don't know, I'm just not trying to have the government take land away from me. I made a promise to take care of that land. And divine rule over man-made policies. So I want to be good and do what I have to do, you know, to make the life on that land happy. Anyway, and I have a lot of help, fortunately. I'm so thankful for that. Government too large. I've been complaining about the government being just the overreach, the power overreach. And yeah, who else can own land besides the government and other I don't even know what the hell they're called, but you know, to each their own. I really like that if we want to change things, we have that option with the way it is. But I say that, and at the same time, like, Texas has wanted to break away from the U.S., and I know what they're thinking. Not, you're too valuable, you know. We could prosper without having to be part of some of the shenanigans, which they've done certain things, but yeah, some of the people in Texas are pretty trashy, and they've gotten in positions of power, and it's like, yeah, these people, they may have military backing them, and they may have force behind them, but they're not everybody's leaders. Some of them are bad excuses for politicians, even. And all this can be a killer unintentionally. Even though I know under capitalism, you know, with the mortgage system, it's kind of like tribute. I played a lot of video games, so I learned things in a way where it wasn't even really, like, you know, I kind of saw it more of what it might historically sound like than what it was presented to us like. Oh yeah, Little Caesars fires 2 for a reverse swastika on a pizza. Wikipedia, a swastika is a geometric figure and an ancient religious icon in the culture of Eurasia. In Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, a symbol of divinity and spirituality. You know, I'm actually decorating, and whenever I decorate, well, it's never about hate, because I don't hate anybody enough to make a freaking cake and decorate it for them, okay? I love somebody because of who I believe they are on the inside, and I've been deceived, but it seems kind of weird for me to believe a total monster, the first thing they do would be probably one of the most Christ-like things I've ever heard of a politician doing. And basically, well, let's stop experimenting on the voiceless life, on the most innocent of us all. You know, so you can say what you want, but the shoe doesn't really fit. And the more you look into things, and I really hope you do, the more you'll see that I think people who they reject the narrative, they revisit the vision that's trying to be an illusion, a veil of sorts. When you think and you look at things and you go back, if you care enough to know these people's story, you'll see a lot of it don't line up. Anyway, yeah, and again, don't be afraid of things, because how are you going to recognize if you are one-sided, you're not well balanced? But do what you will anyway. In art, opposite colors complement each other. In the zodiac, polar opposites or sister signs. The West, in general, has a mindset where opposites are constantly in war, at odds with one another. And that's not how it is. Imagine not recognizing your partner, your teammate. What a great team that would make. Anyway, do I have any? I got a new one, but I'm not going to do that for now. I'm going to do it tonight.